Most people don't lose respect because they're wrong. They lose it because they explain themselves too much. Think about the last time you saw someone truly powerful, someone who commanded a room without raising their voice. Did they justify every decision? Did they plead for understanding? No, they stated their reality and the world adjusted. Today, we're going to explore the hidden psychology of why over-explaining is one of the most common ways we sabotage our own authority, and how you can reclaim your power by simply saying less. Why do we do it? Why do we feel this compulsive need to explain ourselves into a corner? It's because, on the surface, over-explaining feels like the right thing to do. It feels responsible. It feels transparent and honest. We think we're being mature by laying all our cards on the table. We believe that if we just provide enough context, enough background, enough reasoning, then surely everyone will see our point of view and agree with us. We tell ourselves we're building bridges and fostering understanding. But what's really happening on a psychological level is something entirely different. The moment you start explaining more than is absolutely necessary, you're not projecting clarity. You're signaling uncertainty. You're subtly communicating that your initial statement isn't strong enough to stand on its own. It's like building a house and then immediately telling everyone all the reasons you're worried it might fall down. You are, in effect, inviting judgment. You are opening the door for others to poke holes in your logic, to question your motives, and to challenge your position. Your detailed explanation becomes a roadmap for them to deconstruct your confidence. It's a classic case of good intentions leading to a self-inflicted wound. Let's get deeper into what your over-explaining is actually broadcasting to the world, regardless of your intent. When you pile on justifications, you're not really saying, "Here are the facts." You're subconsciously screaming, "I need you to understand me." It's a plea for external validation. You're communicating, "My own belief in this isn't enough, so I need your approval to feel secure." It also signals, "I'm deeply uncomfortable standing alone in my conviction." You're looking for an ally, a co-signer on your own decision. Think about this. True, unshakable confidence doesn't need to persuade. It doesn't beg or campaign for agreement. Confidence simply assumes. It assumes its own validity. When someone is truly confident, their statements are declarations, not invitations for debate. Over-explaining does the opposite. It turns a declaration into a negotiation where you've already admitted you're not sure you can win. It is a subtle but powerful shift that hands the other person the psychological upper hand before the conversation has even truly begun. Now, flip the coin and look at people who genuinely hold power. Not just bosses or leaders, but people who have a certain gravity, a natural authority. What do they all have in common? They are masters of the unsaid. They don't narrate their every thought process. They don't walk you through their entire decision-making tree. They state their decisions clearly and concisely. This is what we're doing. My answer is no. We're moving forward with this plan. The sentence ends there. There is no because clause filled with anxious reasoning. This economy of words is a power move. Why? Because saying less accomplishes three crucial things. First, it creates curiosity. When you don't explain everything, people are forced to wonder. Their minds start working to figure you out, which means you're occupying their mental real estate. Second, it builds respect. Brevity signals that you value your own time and your own judgment. You don't feel the need to prove yourself. And third, it establishes authority. It frames you as the source of the decision, not just a messenger defending it. When you say less, you leave a vacuum. And people will almost always rush to fill in those gaps for you. And here's the magic part. They usually fill them in your favor. They assume you have hidden knowledge, a deeper strategy, or a level of confidence they can't see. Your silence becomes a canvas for them to paint a picture of your power. Let's talk about the real-world damage this habit causes, because it's not just theoretical. In your personal relationships, constant explaining almost always comes across as defensiveness. When your partner asks a simple question and you respond with a 5-minute monologue, it sounds like you're hiding something or feel guilty. It erodes trust. Instead of creating clarity, you create suspicion. You intended to be open, but you ended up looking guarded. At work, it's just as damaging. In a meeting, when you present an idea and then immediately start justifying every little detail, you don't look thorough. You look unsure. Your colleagues and your boss start to wonder if you truly believe in your own proposal. You project a lack of confidence that makes them hesitant to back you. In any kind of conflict or negotiation, over-explaining is fatal. It often looks like an admission of guilt, even when you're completely innocent. The other person hears your lengthy justification not as context, but as a sign of weakness, an opening to exploit. The hard truth is that explanation is often mistaken for weakness by people who don't value nuance, and let us be honest, in high-pressure situations, most people aren't looking for nuance. They're looking for strength. So, how do we break this deeply ingrained habit? How do you stop giving your power away with your own words? The solution is deceptively simple, but it requires conscious practice. First, say what needs to be said. Be direct, be clear, and then stop. Just stop talking. Let the silence hang in the air. That silence is not your enemy. It's your greatest tool. It gives your words weight. It forces the other person to process what you just said without your help. It's in that silence that your statement sinks in and solidifies. Now, what happens if someone pushes you for more? What if they say, "Well, why?" Or, "Can you explain that?" You have two incredibly powerful options. The first is to calmly repeat your original statement. No new words, no added emotion. Just a simple, firm repetition. This communicates that your position is non-negotiable. The second option is even more powerful. Say nothing at all. A calm, steady gaze can be a more profound answer than any sentence. This isn't about being rude. It's about holding your ground. Remember this fundamental rule of social dynamics. The person who needs less validation always holds more power. When you stop seeking approval for every thought, you start earning respect without even asking for it. Let this sink in. You do not owe everyone a detailed explanation for your choices, your feelings, or your boundaries. You don't owe them the clarity they might demand. What you owe is to yourself. You owe yourself composure. You owe yourself the strength to stand firm in your own convictions without needing the rest of the world to co-sign them. Your power isn't found in making everyone understand you. It is found in understanding yourself so deeply that you no longer feel the need to justify your existence. So from this moment on, I challenge you to practice this. Say less, stand firmer. Watch how the world begins to react differently to you.